If you've ever tried to use bonus credit with D2L combined with automatic grading, you have probably been very frustrated. While the grades will be correct at the end of the semester, due to an error in the way D2L processes bonus credit, they will be absolutely wrong throughout the semester. In this video, I will illustrate the problem and I will explain what D2L is doing. That way, you will have confidence in your end of semester grades, and you will understand what D2L is doing wrong so you can explain it to your students. Let me begin with a brief note. I will be showing you one student's grade. However, there are no Federal Educational Rights and Privacy Act issues with this. FERPA does not apply because this is an account I created just for this video. In other words, it's not a real student. Here's the D2L Managed Grades display for the portion of the course that uses bonus points. Overall, the chapter exams count for 40% of the student's grade. That 40% is distributed equally across the 6 exam components, so each exam counts 100 divided by 6 equals 16.7% of that 40%. Also, the grading is set up to ignore blank items. You have to do that if you're going to make the grades visible to the students. Otherwise, a bunch of zeros would be included in their average, making them extremely worried. There are 3 bonus assignments, and each is worth 2%. To make this easier to follow, we will ignore the second 2 and only use the first. That bonus assignment counts 2%. That completes the grade setup. Now we are ready to see how D2L handles, or rather mishandles, the bonus points in practice. So, I was a very good student. I made a perfect score on exam number 1, Concepts. And I made a perfect score on practice exam number 1, the bonus assignment. But wait! The bonus assignment was worth 2%, but D2L is assigning 4.8%. What's going on? To make matters worse, my overall exam average is wrong. Remember, the bonus assignment was worth 2%. 2% of 40% is 40 times 0.02 equals 0.08. So, my exam average should be 40.8, not 44.8. This is the very error I mentioned at the start of this video. Stick with me. We need some more data points before I explain exactly what D2L is doing wrong. Being the good student that I am, I make 100% on exam number 1 problems. Nothing about the bonus practice exam number 1 changes, but my bonus drops from 4.8 to 2.4. And, in spite of making another perfect score, my exam average drops to 42.4. In other words, scoring a perfect score on the second exam lowered my average. Try explaining that to a student. But wait, as you will see, it gets worse. I make a perfect score on the third exam. Bonus points drop to 1.6 points, and my overall average drops to 41.6. You see the trend, right? The more perfect scores I make, the lower my grade. After the fourth perfect score, my bonus points drop to 1.2 and my exam average drops to 41.2. After the fifth perfect score, my bonus points drop to 0.96 and my exam average drops to 40.96. I am nailing this course. I made another perfect score on the 6th exam. Finally, the bonus points are worth 0.8, the correct value. And the final average is correct at 40.8. The screen now summarizes the values we just saw. On the left side is the number of exams completed. On the right is the amount of bonus points received. And remember, the correct value is 0.8. Don't worry, I'll explain what's going on. But first, let's summarize. The bonus points were wrong all semester. The bonus points being wrong caused the exam average to be wrong all semester. While I did not show it, the exam average being wrong caused the course average to be wrong all semester. The bonus points and the resulting exam average were finally correct at the end of the semester. More technically, they were finally correct when all of the assignments impacted by the bonuses were completed. This is an important fact to remember. In the end, the grade calculations in D2L are correct. I've illustrated this using perfect scores both for the exams and the bonus assignment. That was to make the math easy to see. You have the same issue regardless of the student's actual scores. I also only used one of the bonus assignments. That too was to keep the math simpler. You have a compounded problem with multiple bonus assignments. As with a single bonus assignment, the problem is resolved once all the impacted assignments are completed. I know from experience that this confuses and frustrates students. As I said, it is a bug in how D2L handles bonus points. There's nothing you can do as a professor to resolve the problem. At best, you could just hide the points, but that keeps important performance information from the student. And, since the bonus affects everything up to and including the overall course average, you would have to hide all the grades to keep the student from seeing the problem. I am a professor who uses D2L. I am not an employee of D2L. What I'm giving you here is just my speculation on what D2L is doing based on the evidence I've seen. If D2L were to compute the exam average using the formula shown on the screen, then the exam average would always be correct. After 3 correct exams, for example, the average would be 100. That plus the 2% bonus would yield 102. Multiplying that times the 40% that the exam counts yields 40.8, which we know to be correct. What I believe that D2L does instead is add the bonus to every single exam. But also, I believe that it adds the bonus to those exams it should ignore since they have not yet taken place. So, for 3 correct exams, that gives us 3 scores of 102% plus 3 bonuses of 2% all divided by the 3 completed exams. That equals 104. Multiplying times 40% equals 41.6. That is exactly the value we saw in D2L for 3 perfect exams. So now you know how D2L is likely handling bonus points. It is still frustrating for both instructors and students to see it handled wrong, but maybe knowing what is going on will make it slightly less frustrating. If this tutorial was useful, I have 3 MOOCs on udemy.com that may interest you or your students. Creating exciting videos using PowerPoint slides shows you how to take your classroom PowerPoint slides and turn them into narrated videos for online courses. Working Operations Management Problems has over 8 hours of tutorials giving step-by-step instructions on how to work problems typically covered in Operations Management. Working Business Statistics Problems has almost 9 hours of tutorials giving step-by-step instructions on how to work problems typically covered in Business Statistics.